Say it's Tanesha's tip. Coming all three speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured. They all getting featured. Say it's Tanesha's tip. Coming all three speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured. Yeah. It's your girl Tanesha, straight magic. The greatest book reviews, let's get at it. She not here to offend, she just honest.
Hi, and welcome to Tanisha's Tips. Today, I'm going to review a book that I got the pleasure of reading. It's called The Vow by Barbara Avon. This author reached out to me and asked if I would mind reading her book and giving a review. I honestly should have read it a long time ago when she first gave it to me, but I did ask her what her deadline was, and she asked me to do it by mid-June, which we are hitting on mid-June right now. It is actually the anniversary of the book, and you can also get it on Amazon. So, what I'm going to say about this book is it's a boxing romance book, which I have been heavily into the sports romances lately. This one was a kind of different flair to it. It actually revolved around a guy that was a boxer, and he actually met the love of his life. And in doing so, obviously, there's always some obstacles. However, the obstacles really kind of wasn't between them two. It ended up being between them two at the very end. However, I could understand where he was upset, but I could understand why certain things happen. And I don't want to tell the story. I don't want to tell the book and give it away. However, it was nice. I felt like they both came into each other's orbit at the right time, so to speak. Um, Alex, she's a writer, and I don't know if she was very successful writer, but she was a writer, and she took jobs here and there and everything. But she seemed to be very, nice lady or whatever. She had been married before, and she lost the love of her life. Also, in doing that, she also had a pregnancy that she lost as well. They asked later on in the book, "Hey, do you want any children?" And she just kept saying no. And she kind of shared that little bit of herself. Pip was raised by his mom as a single mom because his father had passed away when he was young. So all he knew was pretty much his mom, right? She was, I want to say, an Italian mother. So they referenced a lot of great Italian food and, how they ate there, whatever. And both, it was so funny because both would try to, cook and make things and try, basically see what's going on, what it tastes like. Because Pip was a boxer, he was supposed to kind of watch out for, things that he was eating, but he was so in love with Alex that he was like, I don't care what it is, it's good. And I don't know anything about gravy. It was a scene in there about the gravy and everything. And if he knew it, and he only ordered it when he went out to eat because Italian people really don't do gravy. So a lot of these things that happened was like, oh, I can understand that, right? Well, at the last fight that, they kind of showcased in the book, it was basically ended kind of traumatically. He should have won. However, I think that the person that was going to get beat up took a low blow. And the low blow was not fatal, but it caused a really bad injury, which entail led to the crack in Alex and Pip's foundation. A lot of things happened, I must say. I don't want to give it away because I feel like it's a book that's worth reading. Um, to be honest, some parts of it I felt were kind of rushed. However, I do feel that, if you're not a very spice laden person, you don't need a book to have spice. This one was good because the spice was taking place off page. Overall, it was a solid read. And I want to again thank the author for allowing me to read it. And I hope you guys decide to read it as well. Until next time, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you. Bye.
Bringing ways that may leave you astonished. And plus she do shows. She cover all like hands, knees, and toes. Don't lollygag, no, she just roll. Then it's on to the next one, on to a fresh one. Ha. Said it's on to the next one, on to a fresh one. Tanesha's tip, coming all 3 speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured.